Roadfly.com, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.
Hi, I'm Ross Rappaport with Roadfly.com. Thanks for watching this episode of RoadflyTV. Today, I'm a really happy camper because I get to revisit one of my favorite cars of all time. I first drove the current Mercedes-Benz S-Class when it first came out, and I remember it was the first time I truly understood why somebody would spend $100,000 on a car. It blew me away then with a combination of performance, luxury, styling, and a road presence unlike anything I'd ever seen. Since then, all of this car's major competitors have gone through total redesigns, so I expected to find it a bit long in the tooth and dated. But after 5 minutes with it, I quickly realized that all of those other cars have simply caught up to, rather than surpassed, this king of luxury sedans. In my opinion, Mercedes have put this car out of reach of the competition yet again. And that's because this car, named the S400, is a hybrid. And I'm prepared to say it's the best hybrid on the road today. And the main reason I say that is because of the type of hybrid battery that this car uses. It's actually a lithium-ion battery, unlike a traditional hybrid which uses nickel-metal-hydride and requires a giant battery pack stowed somewhere, usually under the rear seat. This car has the gas motor, the electric motor, and the battery pack all under the hood, which does wonders for total curb weight and weight distribution. Another advantage to this car's lithium-ion battery located under the hood is trunk space. This car doesn't give up any trunk space to other S-Classes, and when you think about something like a Lexus LS600H, which basically eats up all its trunk space devoted to battery packs, this car is all the more impressive. Everything's normal. You pick it up here, and there's some storage underneath. You pick the storage up, and there's a spare tire well. You can't even tell it's a hybrid. As far as the exterior styling goes, this car is as beautiful today as it was the day it was produced. Mercedes is famous for long model cycles and cars that never really look dated, and this is no exception. And that sense of timelessness applies to the interior as well. This design's a couple years old now, but even the most current Audi doesn't necessarily look any better. And as far as comparisons go, I think less of other cars when I get in here than I think of luxury yachts or private jets. Back in 2007, when I first drove this car, Mercedes Command was the best of the centralized knob control systems, and it just put everything else that the Germans were offering to shame. And frankly, 5 years on, that's still true. I could go on and on about the interior of this car, and you know me, I'm a sucker for storage. This car has some of the best storage, probably the best, and easily the best cup holders I've ever experienced in anything German. So I could keep talking about it, but that's all I'm going to say, because what I'm really here to talk about is the hybrid system. And there's a couple of reasons why this hybrid is, in my opinion, the best on the road. And it's really because it doesn't feel like a hybrid. There is a start-stop system, and whatever your opinions on start-stop systems are, this is probably the best of the bunch. Also, unlike most hybrids, this car has a 7-speed automatic. Most hybrids have CVTs, which sort of makes them feel a little bit more robotic and plasticky, but this really has a conventional automatic, and it has paddle shifters, so you can shift for yourself. And on the road, it really just feels like a normal V6 equipped S-Class. No other way to say it. Another reason that this car doesn't feel like a hybrid is that it's actually pretty fast. The S550 is faster at 5.3 seconds to 60 miles an hour, but this car will knock it out in about 7.2 seconds, which is totally respectable, all while getting fuel economy of 19 city and 25 highway. And the word on the street is that people are actually achieving these figures without being too careful about fuel consumption. So I give that a big plus in Mercedes' book, and personally we've seen about 21 miles per gallon combined since we've had the car. Once the road gets twisty, you will be hard-pressed to tell the difference between this and an S-Class with a petrol engine. The reason for that is the lithium-ion battery pack is so light that this is only 20 pounds heavier than a non-hybrid S-Class. And that is an astounding achievement on Mercedes-Benz's part, and really just, again, makes this car feel like it is not a hybrid. I can't help believing that luxury liners like this are the ideal platforms for hybrid drivetrains, and obviously the folks at Mercedes-Benz agree with me. Rather than gouging their more environmentally conscious customers, Mercedes rewards them by allowing them to pay less, and the only sacrifice that they are asked to make is in straight-line speed. The S-Class in general is a statement car like few others, and the hybrid version makes a couple powerful statements of its own. First, that going green doesn't have to be costly or pretentious. And secondly, that in the modern era, you really can have your cake and eat it too. I'm Ross Rappaport. Thanks for watching this episode of RoadflyTV. I love to hear from my audience, so please join our community by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Leave me some comments. I would love to hear from you.
Roadfly.com, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.